Hello everyone! I am Evie with Bridging Beings, and today I'm sharing a reading with a very special dog named Flex and his person Carlee. And I'm excited because I finally have a dog on the channel. I have many horses now and a cat, which I love cats. So I'm very happy to have a dog. And Flex is such a lovely energy, so I'm very happy to do this reading. Carlee reached out because she wanted to know what Flex had to say to her, and she was particularly curious about whether he was experiencing pain and where. What came through, apart from some of the physical issues, was one of the most profound soul connections I think I've ever encountered in a reading. So let's dive in and I'll tell you more about that. When I first tuned into Flex, I immediately felt this incredibly kind, gentle, happy spirit. He showed himself to me as a younger dog, full of energy, bouncing around, but what he said next really struck me. He said, "I am her keeper." And this goes beyond just like mere guardianship. It's really kind of a old sage energy of traveling lifetimes to be with a certain person because they are your person. That's the energy I got. So it wasn't just protective, it was so much deeper. He feels personally responsible for Carlee, making sure she's always okay, reincarnated specifically to watch over her. And then he told me something really interesting that I've not gotten from any other animal reading I've done, is that he's been other animals before, mostly dogs, but he's been other animals so he could track Carlee across lifetimes, which is really cool. So his soul has literally followed her through time. So as I stayed with his energy, I started picking up some of the physical sensations. I felt something with his eyes, a sort of blurry quality to my vision, which usually tells me there's something wrong with the vision of the animal partner. Something like cataracts maybe, or some kind of visual impairment. It didn't feel critical, but it was definitely present. I also got an ache in what I would call my right hamstring, which is weird. I don't know where that goes on a dog. I don't know what that corresponds to, but it feels like maybe the hind leg on the right-hand side. Feels like an old injury that flares up periodically. It's not constant. So when I mentioned this, I heard from Flex, "I am aging," and there was this sense that Carlee might not be ready for that reality. What was fascinating was the duality of his energy. On the surface, he's puppy-like, playful, rambunctious, but underneath, very sedate, peaceful, almost meditative. He was showing me both sides of himself. Flex is exceptionally intelligent. I got the distinct impression that he could escape from any pen or fence that somebody put him in. Not because he feels trapped, but because he's just clever. He can reverse engineer almost anything, and that's a rare quality in a dog. Makes sense given how many lifetimes he's experienced. When he met Carlee, he says it was love at first sight, and he says, "I also have that effect on people." So he makes friends easily. He's just one of those souls that people see him and fall in love with him. I mean, look at his face. I fell in love with him too. Apart from the hamstring pain and the eye issues, I really wasn't picking up anything else that was hurting him. Certainly nothing severe, but Flex isn't the type to complain. So even if something was bothering him, he might just keep it to himself and, slough it off. Like several horses I know who are the stoic types, they just keep going. If you watch the S reading, you'll know I know a horse that has that similar type of response to physical pain. So I sent this reading back to Carlee, and she responded, and she had a lot to say about the reading and Flex. And her response was, since the second they met, that it was this immediate, profound recognition. She felt they knew each other. She told me that Flex has TCS, which is a progressive neurological condition that dogs have, that was recently diagnosed through a dynamic MRI. He holds up his right hind leg, which is exactly what led to the diagnosis. And so that must have been what I was picking up when I was seeing the, quote, hamstring on the right-hand side. She wasn't sure if it was pain or just sensation, but now she says she has some clarity around that. And his eyes, she says Flex has ETS, which affects his vision, and she hadn't really realized it was impacting him as much, but after this reading, she plans on getting his eyes checked out more thoroughly. She described Flex as everything else I mentioned, a puppy at heart, wild, full of life, and then she said something that was really touching and something I think any human partner with an animal can relate to, is that she just really loves Flex so much and she doesn't know what she's going to do without him when he finally goes. So I followed up to get a little bit deeper into the reading for her. And when I tuned back in the next morning, Flex's message was crystal clear. He basically said she doesn't need to worry about being without him anytime soon. He's not going down without a fight. And as with many animals, his worry is who will watch after Carlee. That's his primary concern. So he's really focused on her. And even with his condition, he's still physically very strong, and he is living his best life. He's got the best care, and she's providing that. So I stayed with him. I kept hearing one phrase over and over, and I relayed this back to Carlee, is find a specialist. So there's a surgery, I think, that dogs that suffer from TCS can get that will alleviate some of the symptoms. And Carlee is considering that surgery. So the message I got was find a specialist. So I think if she finds a specialist, it potentially has a better outcome. One thing I did relay to Carlee is that if there was a way to outwill a condition through just sheer determination alone, this dog could do that. Flex could certainly do it. He is a being with a distinct destiny, and that destiny is to be her partner. So, you know, he said, we've been together through thick and thin. We have weathered it all, and his plan is to go nowhere at all. He wants to stay right where he is. I also got that where he is with this TCS is not irreversible or at a point of no return where he's just destined to kind of have it progress over time. So anyway, I sent all of that information back to Carlee and let her know that, you know, just what I'm picking up from him, there is a lot of room for improvement in terms of his condition. So I have two photos of Flex because the first photo encapsulates just his personality and how adorable he is. This photo is the spirit of who he is. Him standing in the Northern Lights on top of the world, that's Flex to me. As soon as I saw this picture, I'm like, I have to have two pictures in the same reading because this really just is who he is. So very much loved reading for Carlee and Flex. I just think this picture, it's so strong, he's so gallant, and he's such a sweet being. So appreciate reading for you, Carlee and Flex. Loved meeting you both, and very grateful that I could help you out. And I hope that Flex's TCS condition improves over time. I feel like it could trend in that direction. And if you need a follow-up reading, I am right here. Okay, let's put our friend Flex aside for just a moment here, and let's do a card shuffle and an animal card pull. All right, let's pull a couple of cards. Oh, oyster and moth. Ooh, I saw a moth exactly like this near my front door once. Beautiful. Oyster energy. Patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. Doesn't that sound exactly like Flex? The only problem is, oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it is important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it that you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. Oh, Flex, I don't think you're hesitant to share your gifts by any means. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, and masterful. Absolutely, this is a picture that completely depicts that. When out of balance, reluctant, griping, clams up. Definitely did not get any of that energy. To bring into balance, share something. Well, certainly Carlee shared Flex with me, and now I'm sharing it with all of you. So definitely patient, secret keeper, and inner treasures completely describes Flex's energy. He is just a wonderful, wonderful animal partner. Okay, let's look for our friend the moth. Impulsive, hasty, wishful. So it's so funny that Flex showed me sort of both sides of him, the crazy, rambunctious, puppy-like, and then the sage, peaceful, chilled out version of himself. So the moth. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. That's very interesting. So I definitely see the shiny and new, or feel that in Flex's energy, but I certainly didn't get a burnout type of energy. When in balance, enthusiastic and whimsical. When out of balance, idealizes others and jittery. Bring into balance, finish a project. So that should be kind of a lesson for all of us. Focus, take our energy inward, and find and finish a project. But in terms of impulsive, hasty, and wishful, there's a little bit of that energy in Flex for sure. I think Carlee described him as he's wild. So, okay, that is our reading for today. I really want to thank you all for being here. If you're returning to the channel, thank you for that. If you like the video, please give it a like. You can also subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. If you have an animal partner that you'd like for me to read, you can reach out to me at bbeings411@gmail.com. The instructions for submitting your request are in the description for this video, so you can follow those and reach out. Hope you have a nice week. Thank you.